Mr. Rabin, America has a new president, Mr. Carter. What is your reaction to this, and do you anticipate any change at all in American policy via the Middle East?
Well, it's not up to the Israeli Prime Minister to comment about elections of President of the United States or Prime Minister anywhere in the world. No doubts that we pay, as every country in the free world and in the Middle East, great importance to the American policy in the world scene, and especially when it comes to the Middle East. Therefore, I'll make only personal comments. One, there were a lot of talking in the last 2 years about erosion of Israel's position among the American people, in the Congress, in the US government. What I learned from the campaign for the presidency, for seats in the Congress, that the Israeli issue showed deep understanding on the part of the American people and readiness to continue the American support to Israel on a bipartisan basis, and whoever would be elected would continue the basic and deep friendship between our two countries and a continuation of support for the cause of peace and strong Israel in the area.
Mr. Rabin, you've met Mr. Carter a few times in the past. What is your personal assessment of the man who will be America's next president?
Well, it's true that I have met the president-elect, Mr. Carter. I met him twice for a long talk. Once, when I was an ambassador, he was the governor of Georgia. I visited then Atlanta. I had a long talk with him. I was deeply and thoroughly impressed by him. I found the ex-military man. He said to me, joking, that we started in the opposite directions. He said, you started to be trained as a farmer and ended as a general. I started as a naval officer and ended as a farmer. The second time that I met him was while he visited Israel. It was in the summer of '73, before the Yom Kippur War. I was just a simple civilian. It was after I relinquished my post as an ambassador. I was not involved in any official role. I got a telephone call at my home at Sahala, and Carter was on the telephone, and he asked me to come to Jerusalem to have a private talk with him. We had a very interesting talk then. It was after he visited Israel, learned about Israel. We had time to talk about all the problems that we face. And it's not up to me to make an additional comment.
The question, Prime Minister, yeah.
You favored Mr. Ford, and some of your statements and actions and timing thereof have been so interpreted. Is there any truth to this, and if so, do you expect that it will have any impact upon your relations with Mr. Carter?
There is no truth whatsoever to any, like, somebody here or there, it's not my business. But allow me to add, I know President Ford for a long period. I met him while he was the minority leader in the Congress. I met him as a president. I would like to express today our gratitude, my thanks, to whatever he has done in support of Israel. Allow me to say, we the Israelis don't have many friends. We don't forget and will never forget anyone who supports us and does it sincerely and thoroughly. And if this is going to be interpreted in a wrong way, it's something wrong by interpreters.
Thank you very much.
So many of you.
Good evening. There'll be a room for one question, or the most two questions, and the Prime Minister will answer them. Question.
Sir, you have said publicly that no matter who was elected, you expected that in the coming year there would be new American initiatives. I don't know your exact words, I can't recall them now. New American moves towards some sort of a settlement in the Middle East. Do you have anything, have you heard anything or learned anything to change that opinion?
Not at all. I said so on the eve of Israel's Independence Day, almost 8 months ago. I said that I believe that unfortunately all the efforts that were agreed on between the United States government and Israel about either to reconvene the Geneva Peace Conference or to explore the possibility of Arab countries that would be ready to negotiate agreement that the essence of it will be the end of state of war, were stopped, might be because of the rift within the Arab world, might be because of the situation in Lebanon. And I expected whoever will be the president, that the United States will not let up its efforts to bring about negotiations between the Arab countries and Israel. Therefore, it has nothing to do with who is the president of the United States. I believe the United States was, is, and will continue to be for the political process of peacemaking in the Middle East.
Any more questions?